Welcome to TechbrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn how to download and install PostgreSQL on Windows machine. We are going to also use pgAdmin to connect to the Postgres instance of we'll create. And then finally, we are going to use a psql command line to write some queries and connect to the PostgreSQL. Let's go ahead and take a look here. First of all, I'm on this link. You will go to the Postgres org.download and Windows, and here you're going to end up on this page. I will put this link in the description so you can take from there, and here we can go for the download the installer certified by the EDB for all supported Postgres versions. So click right there, and then it's going to show you all different versions available. Here I'm going to go for a Postgres version 14.5, and I'm looking for 86 64 Windows operating systems. So I'm fine. There is no version available for 32-bit, and there are all 64-bit available. So I'm going to go ahead and download. Our download has completed successfully. Let's go ahead and execute. So we can go to the folder here, and then in the folder, what we are going to see this Postgres.executable. So go to folder again. I don't know why it's not open. Okay, right there. Okay, so see right there, that's the Postgres. So let me refresh it. So that's the icon it is using. So if I go further here, so you can see, I'm trying to make it a little large so you can see that. Okay, so this is much better, and you can see that we have Postgres 14.5-1 Windows 64, and this is executable. So right click here and run as the administrator. Hit yes. We would like to execute. Okay, so finally this setup window will appear, and then you have a setup Postgres. Welcome to the Postgres setup wizard. Hit next, and then here you are going to choose the directory where you would like to install. On my computer, I'm fine with C drive, C program file, Postgres 14. That's going to be just fine, and I'm going to leave this. We can copy this just for, I can show you some directories there, and hit next. But you can change if you want. Here it asks you Postgres SQL Server. That's what you would like to install. Also, you would like to install pgAdmin 4. So that's a software that we can use to connect to the our Postgres server. And stack builder, you can do that, and command line tools as well. So I'm going to select everything as it is and hit next. Okay, so that's our data directory, and if you want to change the data directory to some other, you can always open this one and choose where you want to do that. In my case, I'm doing everything on C drive, but as I said that you can always go to the different drive or different folder where you want to place that data files and all that for databases. So hit next. And an existing data directory has been found at this because I have installed it later. Set to the use port this directory, and its configuration will be used for the installation. We can go back here. Let me go further back here, and I can remove that directory first, and then we can proceed from there. So this directory is there because I have installed previously to learn something, and so I wanted to do the demo. So I can go back here, and we can go to the PostgreSQL here, and I can simply actually delete the entire folder. So we can get rid of that. Continue, and we should be getting rid of this folder. It will be recreated because we are performing installation again. Okay, our folder has been deleted, and we can go back to our installation, and now we can choose a folder, or maybe we wanted to choose different folder. That could be done, but I kept the same folder, but I deleted the old folder. So hit next now, and now it's asking you username. It is asking you the password. So I'm going to go ahead and provide password. The user is going to be Postgres by default, and then we can create more users. Okay, and we hit next, and the port is going to be 5432. Hit next, and then select the local to be used by the new database cluster. So you can have a default local, or you can choose whatever you want in from here. So locale, so that's I'm gonna just leave everything into the default. Okay, and this is hit next, and now setup is ready to begin installation, and you're gonna hit next, and it's gonna take a couple of minutes and install the PostgreSQL on your Windows machine. You see right there, it created the folder right there in just this folder is created in the program files, and then that's where it created folder 14, and then all folders are going to be created under that. So we can just leave that everything here, let this finish the installation, and then we'll come back. Okay, our installation is pretty much completed, and you can hit finish, and if you see right there, we have uninstalled Postgres as well in this folder. So if you later on you want to do something like that, you can go ahead and uninstall from here. So if we are welcome to the stack builder, if we are working on that part, I don't really see you need that. We can cancel this out here and hit yes, and we can work with our pgAdmin to connect to our Postgres instance now. So I'm going to go ahead and start our pgAdmin tool, and right there, that's we installed as a part of this installation. You can always download this program and install independently without installing a Postgres server as well. So it is waiting, and it's going to start. Okay, our pgAdmin is ready, and it is asking you, hey, you want to encrypt those passwords with master password? Yes, it's fine. So we can do that, and then we are going to hit OK, and now we are going to see servers here. If you click right there, you can see that Postgres 14 is there, and that's what it is. And it is asking you, hey, you want to connect to the Postgres 14 by using your Postgres username. So that's my username. That's the default. And remember that we provided the password while we install, so it need to know that password. So I'm going to provide the password. And once you do that, you will be able to see the Postgres, and you will see the databases. Postgres database is already there. You can go ahead and right click here and say create database, and now you will be seeing creating a new database. So I'm going to go ahead and call this test and save. So it should create our database for us. Okay, new database has been created, and now we are all good. We have two databases here, Postgres and test database here. So if I can go ahead and right click here, and I can go to query tools, and then you can write your queries. You can create table or whatever you want to do, and you are good to go there. So if I want to say like, hey, create table, and I want to say test and ID integer, and that that should do it. And now I can execute this query, and the table has created them. Let's go to the test database here, go to the schemas here, and under the schema go to public, and here we have table, and you can see right there there's a test table. Now if I click right there under tables, and I can create more tables here. It asks me more information, and I can do it. And otherwise, let's say I want to insert the data into the test table. So I right click on this test table, and then I can go and go to the different type of scripts, such as let's say if I want to insert script for this table. So it's going to create the insert statement for me, and I will just simply go ahead and replace the value for the here, and let's say if I want to insert the ID 100 in this one. Okay, so now it has inserted a record here. If let's do another one, and we can go ahead and see right there. Now if I want to select the data, I can say select star from test. So now execute that, and it should get us the data. See right there we have inserted two records in this table, and that's why we are seeing here. Another part people want to ask, hey, how do I connect by using psql? That's a command line. So go to the folder where you have installed your PostgreSQL, and here is a bin folder. So double click here, and that's where your psql is. So if you go further down somewhere, you're gonna find it right there. Okay, that's where it is. So this is executable, you can use it. Now it is in the bin folder, so I'm gonna copy it, and I'm going to open command line. So if I will open cmd, and from here I can go simply open cmd, and let's change the directory to this directory where our psql is. So I will say cd, and then I will paste the path. So program file PostgreSQL /14, then bin. Hit enter, and now if I will do dir, it is going to get me all the directories, files, and everything. So now I know that this is the one I want to use. So how I will write, so my statement will be something like this: psql -u, and then I will provide my username. Remember that this was my username, Postgres, right? So it wasn't complete, but it was post GRE. Okay, now I will provide that and hit enter. Now once I hit enter, it's asking me the password that we used at the time of installation. So I'm gonna go ahead and say provide that password, and now hit enter. And now error connecting failed password authentication for user Postgres. Let me see, actually maybe it is the Postgres. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it was Postgres, not GRE. So you will say psql-u post GRES S is there. So now you see that the Postgres is connected, and to list all databases, \l, that will list all the databases, and you can see that I have Postgres, I have test database and all that. So we can get all those and see them. Now if I want to change to the test database, what I will do, \c, and then I will say test. Now database test does not exist because it could be naming convention, so we have to do tst. Okay, so it is case sensitive. So when I said \c and then test with the actual name of the database right here, then I did there. Now I'm in the test database. So now if I will do let's say if I can be checking list of databases anywhere, \l, that will give me the list of databases. If I need to check the tables, I will say \dt. So now I can see my table right there. Okay, so if I want to select the data, select star from test, and then hit enter. I don't know if yeah, select. So S has to be capital here, and see, first I put S small, and that's why problem was. So it has to start with the capital letter. So select star from my test table. So now you can see that it is showing me two IDs. So I can do all those different operations here, but this is also new for me. Honestly, I'm more used to writing SQL Server queries, and I really don't worry. Like most of the time, like you say, show databases, in a lot of other systems. But here is like \l, so that's going to show you databases. So change the database \c, change, and then you will provide the database name here. So in those cases, it's a little different, but yeah, so now I'm back to the Postgres table database. So if I will say \dt again, so I'm going to see all those tables here. Didn't find any relation, so there is no tables in this Postgres database. So I hope you learn something out of here. As you see that let me show you one more thing. So because I made this connection here and I didn't show you the properties of that, so if I right click here and take you to properties, and this connection was automatically created. I didn't create that. So as a part of pgAdmin installation, when we did that, it took the default server, and that's how it made this connection. So it knows that, like, hey, here's our data directory. That's where all the data and everything is there. Now go to connection. So this is a name you can change if you want. You want to say my Postgres local or something. In the connection, you will be providing localhost, and that's our Postgres where you just install on this machine. If you have some other server, you can provide the IP there, provide the port, and then provide the user. So this is a user that comes with default, and then you can if you have a password here, you will provide the password. That's what I have done for other servers to connect. Now that's pretty much it, and let me show you. If I go to services, I want to show you Windows services, and you will see the Postgres should be running there as well. So okay, here is the service that you're gonna see right there, and this is called the Postgres x64-14, and right now you can see that it is running. If in case you want to disable your Postgres database or stop database, this service can be used. So you can simply go there, stop it, and now it is going to stop the service. There is maybe you just want to use this Postgres for testing, then this disable, and you can go ahead and enable it when you want it. Now if I close back here, and now if we run the query, it's not going to give us anything because we have stop our server. So that's why. Okay, so if you want to enable it again, you can always come back here and start your Postgres service. So then you will be able to connect to the Postgres server from the command line or from the your pgAdmin. I thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned some few tips from here, and then I will see you guys in the next video.